All right, so I'm Devin. This is my wife, Michelle.
I'm Graham.
Graham over here. I guess we could pin our YouTube in this really. We got a YouTube channel, Three Amigos Motorsports. We'll talk more about that later. So our favorite dealership here, Old School, brought us in to talk about our Sturgis trip. Came up with the idea. I mean, it's Sturgis, it's not much of a groundbreaking theory. We probably planned for about a year we were gonna go.
Yep, bought the new bikes.
Yeah, that was part of the plan with the new bikes.
To go right before it.
It's exciting because none of us have been. I haven't been west of Pennsylvania until this trip. So a lot of new states. I think we saw 15 states in 14 days and 5,500 miles we did. We got real lucky for a lot of things. We really didn't see a lot of bad weather. I think we only put rain gear on twice.
For about 45 minutes.
Yeah, once
in 14 days.
In Ohio. And then we got poured on in Pennsylvania, I think, on the way home with some hail too. But which that's all in our videos. What else did we see? Corn.
Lots of corn.
Lots of corn. I mean, Connecticut to pretty much Illinois, all those states were just corn. I can't even tell you the difference between Iowa and Illinois. Iowa had rolling corn.
Yeah, it was just an ocean of corn. That's all it was corn and more corn. And rocks.
I think the first big bummer was supposed to be the four of us going. Our friend Bobby here couldn't go at the last minute because of work obligations. So it was supposed to be four of us on the trip, but it ended up being just us three.
Bikes ran great.
Yeah, no problems with the bikes.
No problems. Everything was perfect.
I think the only weird variable we saw was we knew about it, but the smoke was definitely a new thing to encounter. As soon as we got west, I don't know where we started first seeing smoke.
Nebraska.
There was a day riding through Nebraska where their smoke was so thick you literally couldn't tell where the sun was in the sky. It was that overcast. We left
July 31st on a Saturday, and we came home
August 13th.
August 13th on a Friday. We got home at like 6 o'clock. It was 5,500 miles. What, 13 days? 14 days?
14 days.
14 days. So like on the days out, we averaged probably 500 or 600 miles a day, which wasn't too bad, but just trying to keep a steady pace. We've done more in a day before.
Definitely. We're getting burnt out though by
midweek.
It was hot in Sturgis. It was 94 every day, and still doing the mileage is just couldn't keep hydrated.
Yeah.
But we made it. Lots of caffeine.
Oh yeah.
Lots of water.
Caffeine. It took like a couple weeks to come back down to a human caffeine level and not enough to kill like a bison.
Yeah.
Well, that was the
Yellowstone was amazing.
So Yellowstone was a big push. It added probably like 1,800 miles to add it on. So we set out. We kind of burned through the first eastern states, all the corn states as I call them. Our first big destination was in Nebraska. We went to Carhenge, which was kind of cool. Somebody recreated Stonehenge, obviously, in their own property out of junk cars. I think they built it in the late 80s.
57 or something, wasn't it?
No,
60s?
I think it was like the 80s.
I don't know.
We talked about that in our video too. So Nebraska was really cool. We got lucky for a lot of things. Like there was a day in Nebraska we stopped riding a little early because the smoke was bothering us, or we were just tired, and we were gonna go west all through Route 80, but we ended up on the next day on this scenic Route 2 in Nebraska, which was I think one of the best parts of that state.
That was going to Yellowstone.
Yep.
Towards Yellowstone, yeah. It was the sand hills of Nebraska, and they call it the forgotten frontier of the West. Honestly, we rode. It was 300 miles, but at some points we rode 45 minutes without seeing another human being at 70 miles an hour. It was kind of great. It was
Car
the
or
most
nothing.
Out there we had been.
Then the elevation change was cool in Yellowstone because we could watch it on our bikes.
Yeah.
We'd be at like 4,000 feet, and then within an hour or two, we're at almost 10,000 feet in some spots, and the bikes definitely felt that a little bit, and so did we. We're pretty dizzy.
Yeah.
I had to lay down at one point because I was going to pass out.
Yeah. There was a point we got to later we were just shy of 10,000 feet, like you said. And people don't know, like where we live here, I think Summers, Ellington is literally 200 feet above sea level. So to be at 10,000 for a while, you were feeling it. Like every year when we go to Laconia, you climb Mount Washington, you're like, oh, it's 6,000 feet. But we started at 6,000 feet.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit, it's like the views were amazing, the riding was amazing, but then at the same time, you're like, I'm kind of dying. But you just wanted air.
but it was a good time.
Yeah, we're gonna probably go back to Sturgis in 23
Probably
is the goal.
Sturgis in a couple years, and maybe next year we're gonna go to Tennessee and do the Tail of the Dragon,
Yeah.
and maybe hit Myrtle Beach if we can plan around Bike Week, or if not, just Blue Ridge Parkway.
Yeah. 100% would do Sturgis again. With taking on Yellowstone, we really only had 3 nights in Sturgis, so we barely scratched the surface of it.
And we want to hit Texas,
So we
and
wanna-
Grand Canyon in the next few years too.
Yeah. I mean, I know my goal in a lifetime is to do all 50 states, so like I said, I think we crossed off about
15.
12 or 13 new ones.
Yeah.
So that was pretty exciting.
Nothing better than exploring the country on a Harley Davidson.
Yeah, 100% recommend Yellowstone. That was like nothing on this earth. We got a ton of pictures we can share. The springs and everything, the Grand Canyon, the Yellowstone, all of it was incredible. And we lucked out that day too because we got clear skies that day.
Yeah, no smoke in Yellowstone.
Yellowstone was awesome.
My favorite part was probably going through Yellowstone, just because you're in flat grounds and just prairie, and then all of a sudden you hit a mountain range, and we were in just like the most amazing scenery and roads, just windy, smooth roads, and just wasn't a lot of traffic, and it was just like perfect riding. Once we got into Sturgis, it was a little more, because it was Bike Week, there was 500,000 bikes, so it was kind of stop and go, and you had to pay attention more, and Yellowstone was just so worth it.
Yeah,
That was my favorite part.
agreed. Wife, backpack,
Wyoming.
Wyoming as a whole.
As a whole. And Montana.
Western Wyoming.
Just
probably.
going to the rodeo in Cody
Yeah.
and then Yellowstone the next day was just perfect.
Sturgis was still cool.
Oh yeah,
Also seeing the bison.
bison were cool.
Bison, yeah.
It is weird. You go on a Sturgis trip and all we talk about was Yellowstone, but we really went for the riding. I mean, a lot of people go out there just to party, which we did some. We went to Kid Rock at the Buffalo Chips, so we saw that.
Yeah, that was cool.
But it was like a working trip. You know, we worked hard to get that many miles.
It was a bucket list. Bought the bike a year in advance. Just got set it up. Just got it set up. Make it comfortable, the seat and handlebars and lowers and
Suspension.
suspension.
All the suspension.
Dealership did all the motor work, stage 2.
Yeah.
It ran great. It was an awesome time. Nice to have a little bit of time to get comfortable on the bike and then hit the road on our bucket list trip.
Yeah, I think I left with 5,000 miles and came back with like 11 something.
Also Mount Rushmore was cool.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time on Mount Rushmore. That was cool.
Yeah.
We crammed a lot into 14 days. That was the goal. Make it worth the while.
Yep. Except for I need a Pan America now.
Yeah, Pan Americas. So if we can do a little plug. So like I said, we have a whole series of videos on our YouTube channel. 3 Amigos Motorsports.
Can you guys
on
get me a
YouTube.
Pan America?
Maybe we could put a link in.
Can you get me a Pan America?
I wanted to run up and be like, can I get your autograph? But I didn't want to, like,
I'll give you a sticker.
Yeah. We got stickers, business cards.
you guys realize I did that.